Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts for the power, performance, and reliability of a new Super Start battery. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune in to Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Pat, we got trouble in River City.
All right, I heard the tease there. I'm very worried I'm very upset that Catholicism is in battle with the Super Bowl. I thought we would all get along. So,
Emailer Brian alerts me to this.
Okay.
We've all been tipping our caps, I certainly have, to the gal at, help me, Rook, Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic.
Our Lady of Lourdes.
Catholic Church over there by the Stone Arch Bridge, and she came up with the clever Facebook post a few days ago that said, if you made any promises in the last 10 seconds, and then the Vikings logo, and below that, their mass schedule for Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Very clever. Cute.
All righty. We probably trademark violation, maybe. Huh?
Published November 3rd, 2016 in USA Today. Have you ever watched an important sports game with a title on the line and thought, oh, God, if you please just let my team win, I'll do anything. All I want to do is feel this glory for my city to experience the championship. Mm-hmm. Central Baptist Church in Springfield took that into account and created a hilarious Facebook post following the Cubs World Series win. It says, if you made any promises during the bottom of the ninth, and then the Cubs logo, service starts at 10:45 Sunday morning.
So have we confronted the clever Catholic?
Let's.
I think we should.
Julie Craven, Reavers, get on it.
Steal it from the Cubs.
Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church in Minneapolis. She's their communications director. Mm-hmm. I am not accusing the woman of chicanery. I am not.
No, but we got to check this out. It's, because I would hate to think Baptists are smarter than Catholics.
Well, not only that,
quicker on their feet.
But here's the problem: the two Facebook posts are too eerily identical. That's the problem.
Okay. Well,
what's her name again? Julie Craven.
Julie Craven.
Craven.
Yes.
Craven.
Okay.
And she seems
It's like Raven with a C.
Craven. W. Don't start that again.
Yeah.
But Reavers, get on it.
I'm on it.
See if she answers the phone. She's probably been taking bows all week, and all of a sudden she's going to get confronted here. Ooh. Well, that church isn't very far away from the phony zip line, is it?
No, it's Zip Line Central right
Are
there.
we zipping yet? Have we started zipping?
No, Pat. The zip
it's
is
only
during
Super Bowl.
That's
week.
right. Remember you said Jim Marshall wanted to go down it, and emailer, I think it was Wilson, wrote, "What if he went the wrong way?"
There are two things that Jim doesn't have a lot of humor about. I spent 2.5 hours talking to him last month.
Yeah.
A, 0-4 in the Super Bowl.
Right.
B, wrong way.
I bet not, huh? When was that? About 1964?
Yep. He said, how would you like to be asked the same thing 1 million times?
Well, he's got a point.
Said, and I'm not exaggerating.
I don't see any phones lit up over there. I don't see any phones lit up over there.
Patience, Mayor.
All right. I'm not a good waiter.
Really? Not a good waiter. Really?
The old idea of getting people on the telephone is probably, to find a number and B, actually have somebody answer it is almost impossible. So.
Is she a cool day in the fort?
34 this morning.
Holy mackerel.
34 this morning, and that was at 8, You know, it might have been colder overnight. It's brutal. Now we're up to, I heard you say 41 in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
We got you by about 15 degrees right now. We're up to mid-50s, but it's not going to last very long.
What do you got, Rook?
October 25th, 1964.
I was right on the year. God, my brain is sharp.
You remember where it was?
Yeah, in San Francisco.
Kezar Stadium.
Yep.
Kezar Stadium. Yes, it was.
October 25th, which also is the anniversary date of my hole-in-one. 1992.
Oh, and thank God it wasn't in September.
Why?
You would have had to pay.
Seeing the
I paid,
goalpost
don't worry.
kind of triggered, pick it up and run.
It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way.
Jim's going to be very disappointed in us.
And he's running it into the end zone the wrong way. Thinks he scored a touchdown. It scored a safety.
How foolish did he feel when he got in the end zone and turned around waiting for his teammates to mob him? And they're like, idiot, what have you done?
Well, the best thing he did, he threw it up in the air and it went out. It went out, so it was only a safety. You know, if he'd thrown it on the ground and had been laying there, the 49ers could have fallen on it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings won that game. So so that was good.
That
too.
was voted NFL Films top 10 worst plays. It was number 5.
Really?
Well, for years it was number 1 of all-time bloopers. It was.
What in God's name is number 1? If
It's
that's
got
only
Leon
number
Lett.
5.
It's got to be Leon Lett. I'll see if it continues here.
No, Leon Lett.
What was Leon Lett?
When he went to the
holding the ball, getting, screwing around.
Oh,
and, giving away the touchdown.
Yeah.
So, but Marshall is, this, I know that there have been, I was reading stuff up on that very topic about how it had been voted the number 1 blooper in NFL history and things like that. And it would be hard to beat.
Rook, did we ever hear from Scott Stanfield?
we did not receive word back.
Pat, we placed a call to the Brainerd High School basketball coach, Scott Stanfield.
I didn't think his name was Scott.
Brainerd Boys High School coach Scott Stanfield. He's resigning, and he's blaming parents. Not all parents. He's very careful to say he's got great support from a lot of parents. He used to be a cop. He said this is worse than being a cop.
Yes.
And he said he just has grown emotionally drained and tired of parents who want to hector him about their kids not playing enough. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to have him on, but maybe he's keeping a low profile.
What is funny about that is the football coach, Ron Stolsky, is 78 years old.
Yeah.
And he has been coaching up there forever.
Yeah.
And I did a piece on him, and he's well, maybe it's easier for a football coach, right? To keep the parents in line because
you get to play 22 kids.
You get to play 22 kids instead of 5 of them, and you can find some place to use them and shut up mom and dad. But I think, plus Stolsky's got the system of basically telling them right off the bat he's not going to listen to them. So, but I don't know.
Here we go.
Okay,
Julie.
Yes.
Joe Souchere and Pat Royce at KSTP ESPN 1500. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, we're shaken to the core, Julie. We loved your Facebook bit about if you made any promises in the last 10 seconds, here's our mass schedule. Were you aware that Central Baptist Church in Springfield, Illinois had the exact same Facebook post in November of 2016 regarding the Cubs?
It's a familiar one. It's been out there for years.
Oh, thank God. And thank God I don't have to accuse you of plagiarism.
No, and our good friends at Immaculate Conception in Chicago, too. You know what's so fun about that is it's kind of, we were at the game. My husband and I were at the game.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sleep because, the adrenaline after that, my gosh. And I knew there was sort of a wonderful answered prayers meme out there. Put that out there just for our parish family at Our Lady of Lourdes, thinking it would be fun.
Yep.
Had no idea Sports Illustrated and ESPN and Reddit would grab it the next morning. But I think it goes along a wonderful familiar theme of lots of folks maybe folding their hands in those last minutes of of class.
I can't tell you how relieved I am.
For all we know, there was a sign out in front of some Catholic church in Washington when the Senators won the World Series in 1925, is what you're telling us.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think the University of Georgia. I'm trying to think. I think the Bulldogs did. It's a fun, much loved kind of an approach, but man alive, did Vikings fans have fun with it, and everyone in Minneapolis and certainly at our parish are just having a blast.
Julie, you've ended the controversy. I couldn't be happier.
Oh my goodness!
I thought you were ripping off the Baptists, for God's sakes.
Well, I have a Baptist husband.
Really?
Although I'm quite the Catholic girl, so yeah, we are big fans of Baptists as well. But yeah, that has been a blast. You know that the reach is in the millions.
Well, it's not the same world we lived in 40 years ago. The technology's incredible.
Isn't it something? I know.
Julie, thank you very much.
Anytime. Thanks,
All right,
guys.
thank you.
All
Thank you. Oh my God, I can't be more
I can
relieved.
see the relief in your
And she had
God.
she had an apt answer there for us.
You know
right,
what it
right
is?
off the bat.
It's an old religious go-to saw.
Sure,
That's
is.
what it
Try
is.
to tell people to go to church.
Oh,
That's
thank
right.
God we'll be back. I've got the what used to be called the Bob Hope on the big 55-inch screen. They got a pretty good field.
Oh, are we? Excuse me, we're playing that already in the desert?
Yes.
I was scrambling here to find my microphone.
Yeah.
So
It's called the Career Builder Challenge now.
doesn't quite have the ring of the Bob Hope Desert Classic.
But that's what it used to be, right?
Yes. And they used to play 90 holes, too, and they couldn't get anybody to show up, so they had to cut her back to 72 because they didn't want to play 5 rounds and 4 rounds with celebs. But how's it look in the desert out there?
It looks
Is it warm
75
enough?
degrees and beautiful.
Ooh, okay. Well, apparently the West Coast is experiencing better weather than the peninsula of Florida.
Well, you're about to get warmer tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I'm on the plane at 11 in the morning, so what the hell good does that do me?
Yeah, not a bit.
No, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Oh, good. Well, I love watching that golf tournament with the mountain views in the back. And where do they end up playing that one, Joe? They play at like 3 courses. Where do they wind her up?
They're at La Quinta, PGA West, PGA Stadium, I believe.
And then when they decide the championship on Sunday, they're only playing one golf course.
Yeah, I would
like
imagine
Pebble Beach, right? Yeah.
I would imagine La Quinta. I don't know, but it's all nice. It's all good to look at when you're in Minnesota.
Rook, where is that La Quinta in? That one's over. They got a state. It's over by the state fair. La Quinta over by the state fair over there.
That's right. Yeah, right.
Pat, have you ever seen that Patton Oswalt piece that Rook and I are referring to?
There is a.
No.
Oh my God!
You know
go ahead. Well, I was gonna say there's the song, "The Christmas Shoes," that really lame Christmas song that we hear all the time, and he does a 6-minute bit ripping it to shreds, and it's hilarious. It was almost Christmas time, and he talks about being a Christian rock singer. And what does he say, Rook?
Said, make no mistake about it, folks. I will
take care of business.
I will take care of business at the La Quinta Inn. That's right next to the State Fair. As soon as we're done with our set, he does it in Patton's way.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Patton Oswalt. Remember,
I know
he gave us the Failure Bowl.
Right, you're right.
But he's saying like they're Christian rockers, and he says he's singing the song, this Christmas Shoes song, but he starts it out like it's a rocker. It was almost Christmas time, and then he says, "Okay, even though we're Christian rockers, we will take care of business at the La Quinta Inn, right next to the State Fair."
Well, La Quinta is where you get the great views of the mountains in the desert area.
As far as the
right
golf
there.
course.
What's with hiring all these ex-twins as assistants?
Well, this is not anything to do with the baseball operation for Jim. This is he's going to be one of their guys that goes out and meets clients and talks to people. He's Rodney, Tony, Herbie, and now TK basically have the same kind of job where they represent them at various functions. So it's not the same thing. They just hired Morneau for.
What did they hire Morneau to do?
Morneau's doing the same thing as Hunter and Hawkins and Michael Kadire, where they actually are taking assignments to go scout people and the like. So,
I see.
Yeah, and they'll be down here for spring training and all that good stuff. So this is not the same deal. This is an appearance. But I'm predicting we're not very far from a Jim Cott statue at Target Center, at Target Field. Yeah, I think so. You know, leads the organization in everything, pitching categories, as far as wins and all that good stuff.
Patrick, much bigger question, because John Height and I are very concerned. Will this disrupt his every other week appearance on the Ride with Royce?
Well, that question has been texted to Mr. Cott already by me. I have not received a response.
Because it's the best baseball conversation in town. It's fantastic.
Well, we're hopeful. We're hopeful, yes.
I
think it'll probably.
You can even phone somebody now when they're in a different town. I'm aware of how this works.
Well, sometimes if you're an employee of a team, you know, they might not want you to do.
There are rumors that we don't have them on the station anymore. So
is that
that's true or not?
Oh,
I don't know if that's true or not.
Is he still going to do games then for MLB Network? Pat?
I would guess. No, this is like, Rod Carew does anything he wants to out in California, and then once in a while he'll come into town and make an appearance for them and help them at a clinic and do stuff like that. Now Rod's kind of struggling with some of that right now. Not running around as much as he did before, obviously, but it's more corporate. And especially down here in Florida, they need a guy, and he's down here and he can come over and meet some folks and do some things. By the way, today, Joe,
yes,
they got 5 flags out here.
All right.
On their flagpole area at the ballpark, and I took a try. I walked took a couple laps around the boardwalk here, even though it was freezing, and the wind was whipping.
Okay.
And we got the Twins flag. We got the United States of America flag.
So far, so good.
We have the POWMIA Gary Gaetti flag.
All right.
And we got the state of Florida flag.
Right.
And I sat there and scratched my chin for 5 minutes trying to figure out what the other flag was.
Yeah.
And it kept flapping, so I couldn't read what it said.
Yeah.
It was the Minnesota flag.
Oh, for
I
sakes.
had no idea what our flag looked like. I got to admit, I've never really looked at the Minnesota flag. But I'm going, I'm sitting there like, holy
blue.
cow.
It's the guy
what
pushing
the hell this thing is.
It's the guy
here?
pushing the plow blade.
Yeah, well, it's up high,
on
so
it.
I didn't see that. I might have noticed, but it was flapping. I said, "Oh, what is this? It's not Florida. It doesn't say Florida." Oh, okay, that's the Minnesota flag. Okay, thank you.
When do pitchers and catchers report?
Too damn soon.
Okay.
February 12th or something like that.
Oh, you'll be back in your estate by then.
Yep.
Yeah.
February 8th, I think I'll be back. So.
But you'll be back in this town tomorrow.
Oh, and boy, there's one lady excited about that.
Yeah, I bet.
Mrs. Rice, she's very excited. I'm going back home because she's staying in Florida.
Oh, she's sticking around.
Yeah, right.
Sports Talk will return shortly. Here's John Height in the newsroom.
Thank you, Joe. It's sunny and it's 40 degrees out there. Timberwolves back in action tonight there in Houston, where they will play the Houston Rockets. Rockets will be without Trevor Ariza and Gerald Green, both suspended for 2 games after heading into the Clippers locker room looking for that fight after the game the other night.
Hello, 911.
The Rockets will have James Harden back. He comes back from injury, should see around 25 minutes of action, according to their coach, Mike D'Antoni. Minneapolis and the Twin Cities named as finalists today to host one of the NCAA women's basketball Final Fours between the years 2021 and 2024. The Target Center would be the venue. Minneapolis, one of 8 cities on the list. The NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Committee announced, along with Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Missouri, Nashville, and San Antonio.
Well, we hosted it once before here at Target Center, and I believe, you correct me if I'm wrong, it was UConn's first national championship.
It was 1995, if that helps, Jenny.
I think that was it, yes. I remember I got in a lot of trouble with the committee because Stanford, I believe, was rated number 1, and they came out and they were just awful. And I wrote it as I would for a boys' basketball team when they were awful, and I suggested now we know why the Stanford mascot is a tree, because that's the way their basketball team moves. And
that's funny.
Well, that was the tiptoeing ball era.
Yeah, well, I'd gotten over that,
Yeah.
but that was 4 years later.
I don't think that was as good as Papa Up, but that was okay. Indeed, it was Target Center, and it was 1995. Connecticut beat Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what great days.
He's
they
back!
were. Oh, my God, I remember that fondly.
Rebecca Lobo was on that team, I believe.
How are you getting along with Shelby these days?
I have not seen him. He looks like a homeless guy, though. What's with the hair, man? Can get a haircut, Shelby. For God's sakes. Yeah, I wrote 3 inches, and he wrote 35 inches on the editorial page. I didn't think that was fair.
Him and Letterman belong to the same club, don't they?
Yeah. I don't know what the deal is.
News notes from today. Representative Tom Emmer announced yesterday he plans to seek re-election in the 6th Congressional District. In the statement, he said he had been encouraged to run for governor or the U.S. Senate, but he will not. He also serves as deputy chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, said he plans to work hard to retain a GOP majority in Congress in 2018.
Why is Pawlenty not taking on Tina Smith? He drub her.
I don't know.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Joe, have you made your announcement that you're not running yet? I think we should all make announcements that we're not running.
I might run, so I'm not going to make that announcement.
I didn't realize you were still in the decision-making process.
I wanted Tina's job, and he didn't even give me a whiff, man. Dayton didn't even give me an interview, for God's sake.
But Joe, in fact, is still consulting friends and family.
Yes, you got to be in that stage. Yes, you got to go through that
stage. Many are urging him to run.
Exactly. Please.
I asked the wife about me running, and she said, "What? I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Just let me watch my show.
Just leave me alone."
Yes.
I understand that.
The Carver County Sheriff's Office is now in the final stages of its investigation into the death of Prince, according to a law enforcement source. The investigative file will be turned over to the Carver County Attorney for review in the next couple of weeks. Authorities have been trying to determine the source of the fentanyl, which Prince overdosed on in April of 2016, causing his death. Federal drug agents have also been working with Carver County officials on
I thought we already knew that,
case.
John. Didn't he get it from the Walgreens?
No. Fentanyl? No.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where
you do.
He was getting some at the Walgreens.
Yeah, he was.
Let me ask you, idiot, something. How many more of my traffic sponsors are you going to drag through the mud today?
That's a good point.
Just the 2 you have so far?
I always stay at the La Quinta Inn whenever I go.
Here, just go through this stack of copy.
In Florida.
Go through this stack of copy and rip every single one of my
I'm not ripping
sponsors.
them.
They were being duped.
They
were being duped by the shifty little fella.
Home Service Plus, they do a fantastic job. And La Quinta.
Anybody else, Matthew?
No, anybody else? Sleep
I've always, my boys have been sick, so I've been using the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer multiple times this
Progressive
weekend.
Insurance insures my scooter.
John, you really let it get away from me.
Really did. Really did.
Speaking of that, I grew up, and I'm sure the older guys here grew up in an era where there was one thermometer in the house.
Yeah.
And that was used by your mother on you in both the back door and in your mouth.
That's true.
That's not necessarily being washed in between.
That's the era we come from. Now they just scan your forehead and it's done.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember the poor being a little too eager to get his temperature taken. You look fine, Paul. And it's no, just please check, Mom. No, I think you're okay. Don't I feel sweaty?
I would, but I can't reach.
Oh my God.
So I think he worked it out in therapy, but he's all right now. Yeah.
John Haidu just can't keep control of the
I
newscast.
really can't.
You look fine to me, Paul.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie.
Hey, bus driver.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he didn't take the bus.
I got no shot, Joe. I don't know what you're talking about.
John Height now.
Oh, the hell with all of you. I'll just watch golf.
Ride the bus.
Didn't even know I could drive a bus.
Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who left office earlier this week, tried to bypass a TSA security checkpoint today. Christie attempted to go around the TSA checkpoint at Newark Liberty International after entering the airport through a special access area.
You get stuck?
He didn't get stuck. He got stopped, though.
In the turnstile.
Yeah.
A Port Authority officer stopped Christie and refused him entry near the restricted area of the terminal, telling him he was no longer allowed entry into that access point. Christie then cooperated with the officer and re-entered the airport through the regular.
Just one more question for the old guys here.
Oh, no.
Who decided that the back door was a good spot to take the temperature? How did that come about?
I don't know, but I remember rejecting any
unclench, Joey. Unclench.
Right. Not having my temperature. I'd rather die.
Relax. We're just trying to get it out. We promise we're done.
I didn't want any part of it.
No.
I'll tell you a funny story.
And they make it out of glass.
No,
You're like, I don't know how powerful.
I can tell a story now because I have no living people. They're all dead.
Right.
Yes.
So one day I get the swimsuit area caught in the zipper. Right?
Oh, that's all.
Oh, it's horrible. And I'm screaming out in agony. and I'm in fourth grade. Fourth grade. The fourth grade teacher happened to be visiting the house. And my mother said, I'm not doing it. You do it. And people wonder why I'm screwed up.
At this
So
point,
the fourth grade teacher...
Your mother had no interest in looking at that
none.
thing. Huh?
But so the fourth grade teacher, this was in the summer, who I had to face then the whole the coming school year, had to release me from my stuck swimsuit area.
I hope that you've never gone to see the fine film "There's Something About Mary." Then,
I have seen that.
That give you flashbacks.
It did. I had repressed memories.
So at that point, you just say, "I'll take the bleed out."
Yeah.
That's no problem.
But that happens to most guys, but not in front of their mom.
Oh, it wasn't in front. I was elsewhere, and I was screaming for help. What am I going to do? She sends the damn teacher.
So it was like this. Hey, run up down there and help Joe.
Is she puffing a Virginia Slim?
Poor kid.
So that whole next year, then, Joey, were you referred to as Zippy or Zips?
No, I don't know. If I had it to do over again, I would have risked the injury. I just would have ripped that thing off.
Mary Helen was so upset she made herself a Manhattan.
That's right.
This explains a lot about you.
It really does.
It does.
It really does.
Explains a lot.
Why in the hell go to a shrink? I know what's wrong.
Well, he caught himself in the zipper again.
A Stephen King enthusiast has been hit by a terrible blow that a lot of other fans might feel once they hear the news.
Wait a second, John. You're absolutely right, Joe. In most of our cases, we know what's wrong with us. We don't need to shrink anymore. We need to somehow forget what's wrong with us.
Right.
Could you hypnotize me or something?
I'll be damned if I'm going to waste the money.
Anyway, go ahead, John.
A large portion.
What happened to you, do you think, Joe? Well,
that zipper.
I had a
Fourth
zipper
grade.
problem once. And that was a problem.
I made a shrink cry once.
That's the saddest thing I've ever heard. Wow.
I asked her if it was her first day on the job. I said, well, what's wrong? It's not that bad, is it? She's bawling her eyes out.
I hope there's nothing. I hope there's nothing big out there happening in the world.
No, I was already on the end.
All right.
It looks like we've got a little bit of an incident on eastbound 94 that probably started in the Lowry Hill Tunnel. It has migrated to the right shoulder in the curve. Eastbound 94 just outside the back door of the tunnel. Traffic stacks up prior to 55.
I guess it's good to have a little extra cash, but somehow this seems like it might be a bit disappointing. A group of 166 co-workers in Missouri evenly split a $1 million lottery prize after falling one number short of the Powerball jackpot. That means before taxes, each of the workers from the U.S. Tool Group's headquarters in Farmington, Missouri, gets $6,024. That's before taxes.
Oh.
So the
is that
moral
the gist of the story?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, they were trying to win the big one, Joe. They weren't
sure.
trying to win a lousy $1 million. So
No,
you know,
they wanted.
they
more
get
than
$6,000.
So there should be a caveat in the contract when you go in with all your buddies that the guy that makes the run that goes
Yes,
to buy
gets-
the tickets,
Yes.
if we get 5 of 6, the guy that makes the run gets the cash.
That's a good way to go.
idea.
In this case, it's a gal. It's Peggy Lunsford, and she says her co-workers were ecstatic when she arrived to deliver the news of their new money. 4 of the co-workers went to lottery headquarters to claim the prize. According to Lunsford, it's exciting for everyone.
This is quite a group to be turning up their nose at $6,000.
What about
I was just thinking that. What a bunch of bastards we are.
Well,
I'll take the
yeah, but
$6,000 if you don't want it.
Before taxes, though, so how much probably they get? What, 4,000?
3.
3? 3 to
How about the
4?
one guy that maybe wasn't the brightest guy on the
quit
map?
his job?
And he thought, he went into the boss's desk and just dumped one down there. Yeah, screw you guys, hate you guys. And then, I'm only getting $3,000.
Like Reno 911.
Right.
What's up? Look at here.
One of the world's biggest porn sites revealed it recorded a huge surge in traffic just minutes after a ballistic missile threat was revealed to be
A huge surge. Huh,
God,
John?
all I want is cigarette and Irish whiskey. And people went to a porn site.
Well, this was after they found out it was a false alarm. That's where the surge came from.
All right.
So they just went to business back as usual, huh?
Well, according to the folks who are, quote, analyzing this, I think perhaps some folks, they were very nervous and needed, after finding out it was a false alarm, to relieve
John,
some tension.
what I saw on the graph was that business was going normal. Then there was a huge drop where all of a sudden nobody was on their website.
And
then they came back in droves.
50%, yes.
Let's go for Missile MILF. Where is she?
Missile. Wow. Yeah.
Anything for alliteration.
The plunge was, as Kenny said, 77% when the warning first came out, and then it went back up right after that.
I
did that on purpose.
I did not.
I didn't find out for like 2 hours that there'd been a warning. Just imagine that. If I would have, all of a sudden you're driving around. Hey, do you know we're on?
Why do I have the beach to myself?
Nuclear holocaust is about to take place, buddy. At least put the top on the convertible. Right. We're going to have nuclear holocaust, for God's sake.
Because that'll save you.
Right, that nice fine film of a top is going to filter out all that nuclear crap.
An umbrella sparked a scare at a Seattle area hospital after it was mistaken for a rifle yesterday. KOMO reports an employee at Evergreen Medical Center in Kirkland, Washington, noticed a visitor yesterday morning carrying a backpack that had a long-handled item sticking from the top of it. Evergreen Health spokeswoman Kay Taylor said surveillance video was reviewed, but it wasn't clear what the object was. As a precaution, the whole place was locked down. The hospital sent out a surveillance photo.
Wait a minute, John.
Yes,
sir. This is the Seattle area.
That's correct.
Where
Rains
it
all the
rains
time, isn't it,
every
Pat?
damn day, all winter long. And they haven't seen an umbrella before.
Apparently, they didn't recognize it as an umbrella. Luckily, when they sent out that photo, the man in the picture recognized himself. He went right to hospital security, let them know it was an umbrella. They then lifted the lockdown.
I would like to see, though, Patrick, what would your first move be? You talked about putting the top up on the convertible. If you got the Fort Myers under missile warning, how that would play out.
Why won't this lever work when the missile is on the way? Hey, help me with this safe. Buddy, help me get this topped up with nuclear waste.
Such and I have talked about it. They used to tell us to get under the desk.
Yeah,
If they drop an atomic
Will you help
bomb,
me with
get
this
under the
top so
desk.
I can get inside the desk?
A paper cup allegedly used by Elvis Presley 6 decades ago is up for auction.
Does it have any mashed potatoes around the edge of it?
Bids have already surpassed $1,200. North Carolina resident Wade Jones is a collector of all things Elvis. He told the Tulsa World that the crumpled blue and white Dixie cup was snagged by a fan in April of 1956 after Elvis performed at the Tulsa Fairgrounds Pavilion.
How do we know this to be true?
Well, we don't actually.
It's probably just a cup of gravy, though, Kenny, not mashed potatoes.
That was young, virile Elvis. That was before he got.
Vegas Elvis. You're right, Chris. He was drinking gravy from a cup.
Jones says a fan named June allegedly retrieved the cup the day after the performance, right before Elvis left town for a show in Oklahoma City. A letter accompanying the collector's item said June had asked to keep the cup as a little memento. Bids for the now yellowed paper cut had surpassed the 1,200.
This story's way too disproportionately long for a crunched up paper cup.
$1,280 on eBay by this morning. The auction closes. If you're interested in getting that,
I'm not.
Hey,
on
Johnny,
Sunday evening.
You should give Such an et tu, Joe. You know, I mean, it's bad enough the abuse you get from the rest of the room, but even the mayor's turn.
Brutus et tu, Brutus.
You should see the emails I get about you guys, just so you know.
I hope they're not about me, Joe.
Not you, Joe.
Normally in your camp, but not about a Dixie cup.
I don't think it's you, Joe, because it usually says those idiots. I don't think you're part of that. Texas police.
I get those too, but they're all from my family.
What did Such say down in his one visit to the cafeteria? What did he say that almost got him in a fight?
I don't know.
Remember, he came down there and said, "Where are those?"
Yes, I vaguely remember, but I can't finish the.
He was looking for Rookie and I, and we were thinking we were grabbing lunch.
Yes.
Where's the two idiots or the two morons?
Yeah, right. Something like that. And the gentleman behind the counter thought you were talking about it.
Brian and Brian thought you were talking about.
No.
We're right here.
Like when I said to Ken Norton, boy, what a fight.
Yeah.
And he picked me up and said, who you calling boy? No, I meant, holy cow, what a fight. You know?
Yes.
Wow, what a fight.
Who are you calling boy? A Texas Police Department that warned drivers to steer clear of icy roads complied with a man's request for an excuse note to get him out of work. The police department posted on Facebook that the freezing temps in the San Antonio area led to hazardously icy roads, causing all of city officials to be closed, and only essential service employees working. The post urged residents to follow the city's lead and stay off the roads, but one local commenter expressed worry that the weather and traffic reports might not be enough to convince his boss to give them the day off. Justin Garcia followed the police Facebook post by saying, "Can y'all write me a note for work?" Y'all. The department surprised commenters by complying with the request, writing, "Dear Justin's boss, the roads are bad and they're going to get worse, much worse. Please let him stay home, warm and safe, and enjoy some Hulu and Netflix. Also, he needs a raise. Respectfully, Deputy Chief B. Ure."
That's kind of funny, John.
Well, you know.
That beats the hell out of that Elvis story. All right, boys, just a moment. Pretty good field at the Career Builders Challenge.
That's good. When's Eldred going to play? When's Torrey Pines is his first one, right? He's going to play, I think, there. Or is he
next weekend at Torrey Pines Farmers Insurance, isn't it?
I think he's going to play there.
Yep, and then he's playing. Also, he's going to play in L.A.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting. What's coming up?
Oh, Bob Ford, friend of mine, a columnist from Philadelphia. We're going to talk to him about 4:15. Jess Myers will have a little bit of a hockey hit, even though the Wild are taking their 5-day break. And then Kevin Seifert and talking about the NFL playoffs with him at 5 o'clock. So,
why would NHL players have rejected the idea of 3-on-3 overtime? In other words, they got the 5-day mandatory in exchange for agreeing to that. I would think they would like that.
Well,
it'd be over sooner.
They were looking for something because the owners wanted. Anytime you get ownership to really want something, you try to get something out of them. Right?
Okay, so you figured that was your bargaining chip.
Sure.
All right, very good. The Ride with Royce is coming up. 1500 ESPN is KSTP. St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's still 41 degrees and much warmer scheduled for tomorrow.